This is a sampling of some ivory items seized in New York City. It's just a fraction of what the state's Department of Environmental Conservation has in storage. Prices for the ivory range from a few $100s to much more than that.
Pieces like this, maybe a little bigger, we're going upwards of $100,000.
Lieutenant Jesse Pollock is the supervising investigator for the team that enforces New York's environmental laws. He says cracking down on the ivory trade is challenging.
It's a double-edged sword. The more we get rid of, the more value it has.
New York has really been awash with ivory. You know, it's been in the trade for years, so it's an easy place to hide smuggled ivory.
The worry about smuggled ivory is that it's often made of new ivory, ivory that is fueling the poaching of elephants in Africa right now. Much of that ivory comes to New York, in part because it's one of the largest ports of entry to the United States, but also because it's home to many wealthy individuals who tend to be the biggest buyers of ivory.
I'm standing on Manhattan's so-called Billionaires Row on 57th Street, where you'll find some of the city's priciest condominiums, often favored by international buyers. It's also where you'll find the Metropolitan antique shop, whose owners were busted in September of 2016 for allegedly selling ivory without a license.
It is illegal to sell ivory in New York without a license, and since 2014, it has become virtually impossible to get one. A federal law enacted in 2016 also bans commercial trade in ivory. The seized items have been valued at $4.5 million. They include carved figures as well as full tusks. Manhattan's district attorney says it is the largest ivory seizure in New York State's history.
I'm outraged. I can't believe that in our city we have stores that are profiting from wildlife crime.
A new report shows that at least 20,000 elephants were killed by poachers in 2015, and there are now more elephants killed for ivory than there are elephants born. Many are hoping that China's recent decision to ban the domestic trade and processing of ivory by the end of 2017 will turn things around.
Looking at historical extinctions, I'm a little concerned that the world won't be able to get their act together and save some of these iconic creatures, but China's a big step forward.
The district attorney said the recently seized ivory is scheduled to be destroyed on World Elephant Day in August. The crushing ceremony is meant to send a strong message.
Ivory is only priceless when it's on the elephant. It's worthless when it isn't.
Karina Huber, CGTN, New York.